Howdy folks, welcome back to Space Engineers. Today we're going to work on automating this drill setup. And before we get into that, let me just give you a quick overview of what all I've done. You can see I've added some stuff, got some things welded up. So let's hop back in this view. Did a bunch of decorating and just kind of making the place look good in general. So we've got a catwalk across here. Got one hydrogen tank so far. You can go down either side. You can come in here. I've got an air vent for possible future pressurization, although I'll have to dig into the ice and get that hole there get that airtight. Then we've got the giant bank of O2 generators. There's 24 of them. Stuck an oxygen tank in there just so we'd have some oxygen. They're currently turned off because I think they each draw... I can't remember if it's 1 megawatt or 2 megawatts. Anyway, they draw a ton of power. So it will drain the batteries in about 20 minutes. Got the 2 batteries. Down here, we've got kind of our little data center set up. I've got a bunch of timer blocks in case we need some. I know we're going to need at least a handful of those. Then I've got a couple of these automaton programmable block. Mostly just for looks. I'm not sure. I might someday get some scripts running for some displays or something. I've got a custom turret controller to run the solar array over there, so it's always pointed at the sun. But what we want to do is get some event controllers. So let me get those popped up. And I probably don't have the parts I need. But yeah, that's what the big ones look like. All right. Yeah, we need some parts for that. So we're going to want an event controller to stop when the power is too low. And we're going to want an event controller that stops when the cargo is full. We need at least 2 of those. Let me go grab the parts for that. And I don't have this all welded up yet, but I've got the basic shape in place. There's the solar tower. I put it on a piston just because it was easier to build and I could just raise it up in the air. Got the ship parked over here so I can come grab stuff pretty easy. Alright, let's get some event controllers in here. And we're going to just stack them right here. There we go. So one of the first things we need to do is get the get some timer blocks set up. So let's get a timer block to stop and start the drill. That'll be important for the automation. So let's run back out here. Oh, I need to charge up again. Man, it's a never-ending battle here on this planet with no breathable atmosphere. I meant to get all charged up before I started recording, and I forgot. I've got the rover here. Stop in there. And if we look over, I think you could just make out. Yeah, I don't think you can make it out. Anyway, I ran out of iron. I was a little worried about that. And yeah, I ran out of iron. So I hopped in the rover and I happened to drive west and found a big iron deposit. So that was nice. It's about, I don't know, a kilometer or 2 to the west. So I dug out a couple rover loads worth of iron ore. And how are we doing on iron ingots now? So yeah, we've got a bunch of iron again. The refinery is currently working away on some uranium. It got pretty much everything else processed, I think, except for the uranium and the potassium. It's chugging away. All right, anyway, we are charged up. So that's what I did off camera. I'm going to need to add some more lights and stuff to this, but got the kind of the basic layout of what I wanted. So let's run back out here. So we want to, like I said, we want a timer block to stop and start this because there's multiple things that need to happen. We need to stop the drills. We need to stop the rotor. We need to stop any pistons that might be going. So let's hop on here. And let's go find our timer block. Let's name one of these drill start. And this one will be drill stop. Delay on both those. Don't want any delay, although we'll probably just do trigger now. And then set up action. So this is start. So to start, I want to come over here and we're going to turn the drills on. Toggle block. And then we're going to want a rotor for the drill head. Toggle block. And then we're going to have like pistons and stuff. We don't have that stuff ready to go just yet. So that'll get us started. And then we're going to do the same for stop. Actually, we'll do our rotor first. Drill head, toggle block off. Toggle block off. Okay, there we go. Now if we go to timer block, start, I should be able to go trigger now. Turns on and starts rotating. You stop, trigger now. Off. It takes a little bit for the rotor to stop. It's got a lot of weight out there. And then I've got the angle set up on this, so it should be able to rotate back and forth. Okay, let's work on setting up the pistons. So I think I'm just going to run the plunge pistons for now. So let's go set those up. What we want to do is have all these guys. And I've got their maximum distance set to 0, because what we're going to want to do is rotate it around, and then when we hit the end stop, we're going to reverse and also increase the maximum distance on here. If that makes sense. We might set up some timer blocks to make that work a little smoother. So I've got them set up for no max distance and then a really small velocity. Although, multiply that by... yeah, that's probably going to be okay. We'll have to maybe tweak some of these numbers. Alright, so those are set up. That's what we're going to use. So now I want a timer block for when we hit the maximum rotation. You can only do one action with the event controller. So that action will be triggering the timer block. And we're going to just call this drill rotation reverse. Sure. Okay, we don't want any delay. Now when we reverse, we're going to do the drill base. Reverse. Then we're going to want the plunge pistons to go down. So we'll say increase maximum distance. And then in theory, we can set up the event controller now, and this will work. You are on maximum. Okay, cool. So let's go to our event controller. And actually going to need 3 of these. So this is going to be for our drill rotation. We're going to go to angle. Oh, no, we'll need like 4 of these. I forgot. You have to do 1 for each side of the angle. I believe it was 225. Yeah, negative 45. This will be drill rotation max, so there'll be drill rotation minimum. And then we want the drill base. Turn this off. was like, where's the actions? And then we're going to do the timer block, row rotation, reverse, trigger, and okay, so now if we go back to our timer block, we'll start. We also want our event controller, want this to be off. Well, I guess, yeah, it shouldn't matter because it's only going to fire. Well, let's go ahead and turn it off. So we will toggle block off. Nope, that's not what I want to do. Then when we're stopping, we want that to... I think? This gets kind of confusing. Trigger now. I'm not sure that will actually reverse. Not moving. Sweet. Had some trouble with this, not wanting to move. It is on. See, there it's saying negative 135. Here it says 225. Oh, these angles. They get me every time. Alright, let's go back to the... Yeah, so it thinks it's at 225. Oh, it's toggling back and forth. This should be reversing. Yeah, something's not right. Alright, let me figure out what's wrong, and I'll be right back. Alright, it was the event controller. It's just bouncing back and forth, so it was triggering all the time. Let's fire this back up. And I also forgot to put this rotor on the start-stop for the drill, so I added that. Alright, so that is going around. I want to reverse this. And then in theory, when it gets over here, it's going to plunge down. I think it goes by half a meter. We'll find out. It may explode. Also stuck this button panel up here just so I could do stuff real quick. While we're trying to debug this. Insert carry all. You just keep right over there. I'm hoping the ship could help defend us. We're at... Okay, we're getting close. We're going to see what happens. In fact, let's just drop a save. Front row seats to whatever's going to happen here in a minute. Might have to do something different if it can't reverse properly. Yeah, did it reverse? Yeah, it doesn't have time to... Doesn't have time to go back. So I'm going to need to use like a time... I'm going to have to use the timer. The timer function. Or something. So it hits this and then it triggers that, but then it doesn't have time to, you know, reverse before it triggers again. I'm not sure. There's no like hysteresis or anything. That's how you say that. So what about instead of trigger now, we did... No, that wouldn't do us any good, would it? We need a timer block. We need to turn off the event controller and then turn it back on after a brief delay. So let's do that. Timer block. Let's see. Drill event. Reset. And we'll give it 10 seconds. That's fine. And then we want the event controller. We're going to need one for max and min. Well, we can turn them both off and back on. That's fine. So this would be to turn them back on. Okay. And then the timer block where we're reversing. You can set up an action to turn off the event controllers. And then this timer block for reset. Do start. Let's try that. So it's going to reverse the rotor. It's going to turn off the event controllers. Then after 10 seconds, it'll turn it back on. So that, in theory, will give it enough time to rotate out of the angle. Let's manually move this guy. Yeah, 0.1 is fine. And then let's start her back up. Then it should come over. Yeah, it should be hitting. Should reverse, and then it should have 10 seconds. Oh, I messed something up. It's still just bouncing there. We were so close. It doesn't look like it reversed. It's turned off. Back on there. It changed these. Let me put that back to the full value. I'd made them one less. I went ahead and set up the min as well. Right, so those are off.
Energy low.
Yeah. I know. All right, let me go recharge, and then we'll double check everything. All right, I went ahead and slept through the night as well. Solar panels whipping around as I used the bed to skip the night. It is currently little bit confused, but it'll get figured out. Get pointed towards the sun. So let's run over here. Let's just walk through. I'm clearly missing something. I need to run over this direction. I forgot I don't have my steps over there anymore. Oh, no, I do. I thought I had deleted those. Still have my steps. All right, let's just walk through this one more time. All right, so drill start. Drills are on. It's going to turn that on. I'm going to turn the timer block. Wait, why is... Oh, did I mess something up? Why is that timer block on there? Drill start. Yeah, grab the timer block instead of the event controllers. All right, drill base. Drill start. Why did I have that timer block? Shouldn't be turning that off, right? So confused. Don't record when you're tired. I don't know why I was turning that off. I think that was a misclick. Alright, so drill head. Those, drill base. Turn those off. And then for off, the event controllers. What I think I meant to have on here. So I messed that up. All right, toggle that on, toggle that on. Okay, so we start that up, and then we're going to come down to the... It's going to hit this event controller. It gets to 225. At that point, it's going to trigger the drill rotation reverse timer block. Drill rotation reverse is going to reverse the drill base. It's going to advance the drill plunge. And it's turning off the event controllers. Then it does a start on the drill event controller reset, which will turn the event controllers back on. After 10 seconds. Just do like 30 seconds. It's going to take a while for the drill to get back around. Let's just go big or go home there. And they'll turn those back on. That seems like it ought to work. Perhaps I've missed something. Let's go to the event controller for this. It's not turning that off. Yeah, why is it not turning that off? Should definitely have turned that off. Go rotation reverse, yeah? Not doing any of that stuff. Oh, it's off. Because I had it linked. I'm a big old dummy. Yeah, because I accidentally had it linked. Okay, that makes sense. All right, let's back this off once more. That is velocity back. There we go. That makes sense now. If you turn the block off, it doesn't work. I know, you all were just already like 15 comments about my incompetence. Hey, look at that. It reversed. Who knew? Did it move the plunge pistons down? It did. So they each go 0.2 meters. So it's moved down about 0.8 meters. Means it is pulling in ice. This needs to go a lot slower though. That needs to rotate faster. And the base needs to rotate slower. That much we can see. Alright, let's stop that. Move you back over. But only about 220. I don't want it to trigger and plunge again. I guess I can move the pistons back up. That might be the smartest move. Let's do that. Let's go ahead and turn that off. And we will, where's the reverse those guys? Ever so slowly coming back up. It's just a quick plunge, so let's go ahead and read it. All right, they have retracted. Maximum distance is 0. We can reverse those guys again. Then we need to do some rotation. So let's go to rotor. So the drill head, I think that needs to be at about 2 RPM possibly. Double that speed. And then the base needs to be a lot slower. We're going 0.1. Let's go like 0.02 maybe. And we'll see how that does. It is on. It is advancing. All right. Let's pretend like that's going to work okay now. And we need to go build some more event controllers so we can turn the drills off if the cargo gets full and turn the O2H2 gens off if the power gets too low. Or turn everything off, I guess, if the power gets too low. I'm not sure how that works. Turning multiple things off, though. I don't know there's a way to chain them together. I might have to look into that. Alright, so let's come over here. I need quite that many iron plates. I'm breathing hard. I'm out of shape. I gotta get over to the space gym. Stat. What are the batteries doing? Oh, that's right. We're not docked. Can't tell the batteries over there. Reactors are doing well. All right, we are all charged up. So we want 2 more event controllers. Then we have to find a spot to stick those. Just on top of here, maybe. That'll work. Alright, did we end up using all our timer blocks? No, we have one timer block left. Alright. Okay, so let's take a look at this event controller. This is going to be battery low. And it's going to be power percent, I think it's called. Power output. If it's less than 10%. I'm going to add those blocks, and we want to do AND gate. So it's checking each of the batteries. Oh, we are really low. Just from running the drills? Really? We're that low? Okay. Well, let's turn the drills off. There we go. Wait, they're fully charged. Say what now? Battery 1 is 0.1%. Oh, wait. No, I want... Not power output. Stored power. There we go. That's where we were going wrong. Needed to pick up the... stored power. Oh, I had to add them again. I got you. Okay, yeah, I was doing power output instead of stored power. Alright, so that makes sense. So then we got the AND gate on there, and then we're going to say select actions. We want to turn off the O2H2, so we go to groups. Just say toggle. Then I'm going to have these set to O2H2 start. I want to give it some time. Like, I don't want it to just turn right back on and just oscillate. So if we use this timer block, it's going to wait a little while. We want it to wait 5 minutes, 10 minutes. And then it will turn them back on. I'll go block them. Then our battery low. And for this action, the start. And B start. There we go. So it'll... batteries get back above 10%. It'll wait 10 minutes and it'll kick them back on. I think that makes sense. It makes sense to me. We'll see how it works out. Timer block. You can start. Yeah, they kick them on. Should be running. So now we need the cargo full. And then cargo fills a default. And we're just going to check the large cargo container. And if it is greater than, say, 95%, we need to stop drilling. so hard to see for some reason. So if we do drill stop, trigger now, drill start. Let's do start on that. And if we come back over here to timer block, have it wait 60. We can always do trigger now if we want it to happen instantly. If we want the delay, we can use start. So that'll give the chance for the materials to drop down a little bit out of the cargo. It's not just bouncing back on and off. Okay, in theory, that's gonna work. Let's go check on our drills. Is there a big smoking crater in the ice over here? Hopefully not. How are we looking? It's definitely digging down, so that's good. Yeah, I think that's gonna work. I'll leave this out here for emergencies. The drill head could probably spin even a little faster, but let's go look at the amount of ice we have. Actually, I can just do that from here. Save some running. So if we go to inventory, yeah, you can see we're already like over half full. So we're gonna have a lot of ice coming out of here. And then I don't recall. Those are off. Yeah, so it should have turned those on, but it may not. There it goes. So that would have hit that timer block. We can just go ahead and turn on the... We can go ahead and just turn those on manually. Okay, in theory this is automated. And it'll just sit here and it'll make hydrogen. I want to get some more tanks on there. So when we come back, we could refill the ship. Ideally, I'd want 4 tanks. So if I do need to get up on the roof, get some ladder access. Then I need to replace these blocks as we go out, but we'll have a couple conveyor tubes near the junction, and we can just get tanks across here, at least 4. That is the plan. How full is this guy? Not even enough to register. 1.5%. Nice. Do these have a control panel on them? It's not a functional ladder, is it? That would rock. Yeah, I don't think there's an actual functional control panel there. You can see we're getting the oxygen filled up. Great. Probably ought to get some steps over those so I don't have to keep jumping. Yeah, she is raking in the ice. Love to see it. So one last thing. I was going to add a nuclear reactor to this. I know, I'm pretty sure I mentioned that, but I don't think I will. I think I'll just let it run off wind and solar. And when it gets low, it should shut itself down. Give it a little bit of a chance to recharge. Then it'll just keep producing hydrogen. So how do we get offloaded? It's a great question. I want to make some kind of like refueling arm. So I can land the ship and then extend the fueling arm out to dock with it. So I'm not sure if I'm going to run... Not sure where I'll run that from. I kind of wanted to run it out this end. So if we have that conveyor come down the middle to hook up the tanks to, it kind of makes sense to have this just come out. Then we'll have maybe a piston, extend and retract. Something to refuel the ship with. But anywho, I think that'll do it for this episode. I'll keep an eye on this thing. Hopefully it is going to work out okay. It's going to be really slow, but it's just going to sit here and we can off be doing other things on other planets, and it should just be making hydrogen. Hopefully Clang will be kind to us. Kind of need to get these ground off. There we go. There's actually some stone in there. Interesting. Yeah, there's a little bit of stone embedded in there. We picking up stone? Nothing yet. It could be coming. Just make sure. Did I get everything set up on the minimum? Yeah. Go rotation reverse. Alright, cool. Alrighty. We're going to make hydrogen. We're going to get the ship refilled. And we'll move on to the next planet and see what we can find. This planet does seem to be pretty rich. I didn't have to go very far to find a large iron deposit. And there's a lot of other stuff on this planet too. So no shortage of resources. Just got to get it out. But anywho, thanks as always for watching, folks. Take care. And I'll catch you in the next episode. Weather does suck on this planet.